Thank you so much for your time. The HR will get back to you with an update. अरे यार. Oh. Sir, 1 minute. Sir. Sir.
I think.
Sir, no, sir. Please, sir, save me, sir. I have had enough, sir.
What
Please,
happened,
sir.
man?
Sir, please save me.
What
sir.
happened?
Sir,
Abhishek,
total waste of time.
Settle down. What happened, dude?
Sir, this was the 20th interview.
Okay.
And these guys are totally confused. They don't know bolna kya hai. I mean, inka hoga kya?
But it's not their fault, dude. Think about it. No one's actually taught them how to give an interview in school or college.
Correct. Pythagoras sikha diya, punctuation sikha diya, experiments karna sikha diya, but nobody has taught us interview kaise dena hai.
That's true.
Sir, aap to bahut smart hai na?
नहीं,
Yes, you are. Sir, why don't you teach me how to take the interviews?
We can try. In fact, why don't we talk about how you can crack your first interview? And we'll do it from the point of view of a founder. And hopefully he can fill the position that he's trying to hire for.
Yes.
Let's begin. So Abhishek, what did you not like about the categories?
Okay, sir. Overconfidence.
Okay.
Actually, you won't believe the guy I just interviewed.
Yeah.
He was here. The last social campaign, remember? Our social campaign we executed last week.
Yeah.
He was telling usme mistake kya hai. I mean, dude, you are here for an interview. You're not here to judge me.
Got it. And do you think some of them were not skilled, but they pretended to be really skilled at something?
Exactly, yes.
Oh, interesting. So, you know why this is? There's this really popular YouTube interview tips video. If you watched, you will actually feel people are seeing that video and doing the same thing in an interview. Did you also do that?
Most of these guys, they did not research about the company. Instead, they're watching YouTube videos.
Actually, they think if they find interview tips online and they copy the same thing, they'll get the job. Don't you think all of them had the same answer?
Over smart. They are acting over smart.
Misguided, not their fault.
Constant.
When you go to a YouTube video and see that YouTube video and then go and say the same thing, imagine people like us. You took 20 interviews. I've taken 1,000 and a bunch of other people, the HR has probably also taken 1,000. She's heard them all. So imagine if I tell her, find a new unique person for this new job that I have, and 20 guys give the same answer. What will she think? She'll think, yeah, they're all average.
Right.
The person who's actually honest and says, look, I don't know where I'll be 5 years from now. The person who says, I am good at this. You know, at Sundays, I do art. That's why I'm a graphic designer. That's what makes him unique. The honesty of your skill.
Sir, I don't think this is right. How can one build trust in the first conversation itself? Just start of 15 minutes. I can't trust anyone.
Good point. It's not about honesty, it's about trust. So the person sitting over there and the other person sitting on the other side both have to trust each other.
Exactly. So if someone gives out his work or her work, I think that builds trust. So I could sense कि यहाँ पे I'm building trust with you.
If you're really honest about your craft, hopefully the interviewer will see that. And because of that, some trust can actually develop.
Sir, I have one question. What's the Brahmastra? I mean, one thing that I should say or one should say to get selected in a job.
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Why don't you ask around the office and see what everyone says?
Oh, that sounds like a
Go,
good plan.
go.
Yeah. What made you crack your first interview?
So I was researching about the company and the industry, and when I was interviewed as well, I was able to answer all the questions that were coming regarding these parameters.
So I was very honest with my CV. I had a 1-year gap after my graduation, but I chose to not lie about it. I was very honest and I justified that in my answers.
Oh, that's smart.
So during my interview, I was asked a lot of questions and I was grilled a lot, but I kept my calm and I was confident and I was honest about what I know and what I didn't know.
Because I was interviewing for the role of social media expert, and I was very honest that I haven't worked in finance, but my personal interest lied there. And I also mentioned I took up a 30-day posting challenge. So I think that showed that I was very serious about my own personal projects and I was committed towards follow through.
I did a couple of side projects and they were in the same field that I was interviewing for about the same topic, and that really had my original ideas and how I executed them. So the employer really liked that.
That's interesting. Thank you. Sir, amazing answers. We have got a very good team, by the way.
So when you are actually getting hired for a position, actually people are mostly hiring for potential. Which means 6 months baad, ya 8 months baad, ya 3 years baad, this person will become the person I need to be.
Oh, so most of them mold themselves as per the requirements.
I mean, don't be dishonest about it, but I think you should be honest about what you want to get better at. Now, we obviously want a talented person who can grow and improve, etc. But I'll be honest, I also want someone to actually make my life easier. If the founder or someone really senior in the company is working on something and he finds someone who can do it for him, those hard problems are what you want to go after.
Right, okay, so they should be able to solve the problem.
Yes, and not just do the task. So if you're given a project and someone else is not doing the work, you go catch that guy, get him to finish it. If someone's not available on a Friday, make sure he completes it on a Thursday. If someone says that he's not able to solve XYZ, you go out and do it. Your job is to actually get the job done. So the next time you write ownership and accountability, know that this is what it means. And if they ask you this in the interview, now you know what it means and you can give an honest answer to it.
I just have one question. I have a candidate and he has mentioned everything in the resume. Now, in 15 minutes, how will that person present that to me?
Yeah, that's actually a little tough, but you can do a few things to actually prepare. And these are basic business as usual things which you should do, which a lot of people aren't. Number one, go and research the hell out of the company you're going to. Go to their website, go to their About Us, search about their founders, search about their leadership teams, what this company really wants, what their reviews are and what their users think.
It's basically a detailed research about the company. Okay.
So when you go to the interview and Abhishek is on the other side and you say, you know, I've seen all the videos on psychology of money on 01. I've also noticed that you used to run these other channels and now you're doing this. I noticed that your vision is X and it would be great to be part of the company. That's just a really nice way to start the first 5 minutes. The second thing is actually dressing up for the interview.
Good suit, polished shoes, nice hair.
It's actually really contextual. So if you're joining a company to become a business developer that talks to other businesses. So let's say you have to sell software to other large businesses, let's say Microsoft or Amazon. So do you think this person can come in a hoodie or in chappals?
He should be there in formals, no?
In this job type, he has to be dressed pretty well. Now, it could be a coat in this case, or it could be just a nice shirt ironed well, because this job requires that kind. But let's say you're a developer. Do you think a developer needs to meet clients all the time?
No.
So if he comes in a hoodie and chappals, it's actually fine, because you're judging them on their skill. They could be stellar coders, and that's all that matters. So basically, every single job is contextual. Please be presentable. Make sense?
Right. Sir, imagine that person has followed this checklist.
Okay.
He did his research.
All right.
He's well presentable.
Right.
He knows everything about the company. Now, what's the next step for that person?
Well, personally, I would love to see demonstrable skills. Which means if this person is actually good at their job, they should have some kind of work they've done in their previous experience, right?
But these guys are just freshers, the ones that I have interviewed.
Okay, fine. You can do it as a hobby, right? Like when you're studying and this is your first job. If you were an artist, I'm sure you would have made art. If you're a programmer, you would have a GitHub profile. Something to show that you're actually good at that craft. And this is increasingly becoming more important than the resume itself. Proof of work. I'll give you an example of a writer. Now, this person walks in, and this is a true story. He's actually produced a few episodes on this channel. This person comes in, his ears go red, he's unable to answer my questions, and usually I put them under a lot of pressure, and he completely cracks. I ask him, tell me an idea for AI using ChatGPT and XYZ situation. He was not able to answer. I gave him another. I said, hey, tell me about this. He was unable to answer it, and I rejected him.
So that's too much pressure.
It is. Somehow, he said, I'm not able to voice it out, but I'm a good writer. I said, look, I've spent 25 minutes with you. I'll give you one last chance. Here is my laptop. You can't use ChatGPT. This is the topic. I want you to write an intro. I'm giving you 15 minutes. Bye. And I walked out of the room. He actually wrote an amazing piece around AI and the connection to today. And it was beautifully written. It was structured. There was some research because he had already read about it. And that is a good example of demonstratable skill or proof of work.
So generally you grill people a lot. मैं तो निकल गया, but I just have one question. Do you think today, these people, I mean these youngsters, will they be able to handle this pressure?
Maybe not, but here is one way to easily do it, or actually a few ways. When you're being grilled by an interviewer, the first thing you can do is just be honest. If they ask a question which you have no idea about, you should say, good question, I haven't thought about it, I don't know the answer to it. That honesty actually works really well. Mostly the purpose of grilling is not to insult you or to put you in a position of weakness. It's actually to see in a short period of time, do you become agitated or show some extreme emotion? The test is of pressure. So when you have a timeline to deliver something, that person will have to work under some sort of pressure, right? Will that person just get angry and scream at everyone and spoil the culture?
Sir, I just had this very funny question. Now, what if I turn the table around?
Okay.
Imagine a scene.
Uh-huh.
The interviewee is grilling the interviewer.
Right.
Salary बढ़ा दो, ज़्यादा दे दो.
Correct.
How will you reply?
Speaking of salaries and negotiation, there are some things you should never ever do. The first one is negotiating too hard. Now, if you've actually proven to the employer that you have the skills that they need and the business will move forward and they really need you and you've quoted a number, they'll possibly make it actually happen. And if 80% of your conversation is just around money, that's a red flag. So don't negotiate too hard.
Rejected.
Yes. And there are a bunch of other things, but if you want us to cover salary negotiation, put it in the comments, give a bunch of likes. The second thing which you must absolutely not do is voicing out your opinions of the company in a bad way.
Feedback.
Feedback is actually really good. If you come as a UI person and say, I think your app needs these changes and I think it could really improve. This is really good.
That sounds smart, okay.
But what if you went and said, I'm not sure how your company functions or what everyone does here, because it seems like the basic stuff is not thought only. I mean, maybe we've been very lucky and something could happen to the company at any moment. So, I did you guys a favor and made a few changes from my side. This is just a very bad tone, and believe it or not, a lot of people actually talk like that. Please don't do that. It's constructive criticism. Be positive about it. There's a way to say it.
Say it.
All of these soft skills sound really obvious that everyone would probably do. But when you're just starting your career out, they are not that obvious. And that's why we made this really obvious video, which should exist on the internet, but somehow doesn't.
Correct.
So, as you progress in your life, you may think all of this is easy and obvious, but not for the beginner. If you know someone who's about to give their first interview, or maybe you are that first interviewer person, make sure you don't fuss about that first salary number or that company. I wanted to get into XYZ and you're getting really frustrated and tensed about it. Meri life kya banegi? This is not the start I was hoping for. Remember, your first 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, even 1 crore will not come from one negotiation or one company. It'll come because of the skill you have. This is really a very long journey, isn't it, Abhishek?
Right.
And it takes time sometimes. What you have to focus on is your skill, because that's ultimately where all your money is going to come from.
Right.
Maybe you should worry about that and not take the stress of the first job, the first salary, etc. Things will be okay if you're actually good at your job. Correct?
Focus on building on.
You've done pretty well for yourself.
You know what else is popular? The 01 Fest. Here you can meet like-minded people like all these guys. It's happening on the 28th of April in Bangalore at Jai Mahal Palace. To get the free passes, you need to prove that you're a 01 fan. So go to 01byzerodha.com, complete the mission and earn your pass. See you there.
ऐसा थोड़ा आधा पाधा था वो. अपना जॉब करा रही है, बता रही है निशिता. मैं ना पता है क्या करती हूँ, मैं बताती हूँ. आज तू होली मोड में है ना. मैं कल एब्स किया था, दर्द हो रहे हैं एब्स में. रुक. See how tough it is to be me?